Introduction 2. This time we are doing Star Trek Online. I'm Sketch, and with me is... Well, what name have you chosen for this one?
Neon Celery, I think. I don't know, it's my handle. It might be Argon Celery. I think it's Argon. Yeah, Argon Celery.
Anyway, Star Trek Online is an MMO, and for that I
There's some
brought...
cruisers in range over there.
For that I brought Michael, who seems to be the closest thing we have to an MMO expert.
I just like to find them and play them all the time, cause I might find a gem. And randomly playing Star Trek I think I have, which will might give away the bit of our review, because I approve of it. Anyway, as you can quite clearly see here, we're in a space battle. We've become lieutenant commanders, so we've both got quite distinct ships, but you'll start off with a light cruiser, which will basically be like a smaller version of my ship. And they're like the tank ships. They're the ones that take all the damage. Sketch is in a destroyer, so he's got lots of frontal firepower and weak shields.
Yes, which means I can banzai charge into an enemy, but then when I'm running away, they seem to take vengeance on me.
Yeah. Might as well show you some of the different weapons since we've got quite varied weapons. Sketch is using... You're using dual heavy cannons, aren't you, on your front?
Just dual heavy disruptors and a dual disruptor bank as well.
Yeah, well, the dual disruptor bank is like a double phaser beam, or disruptor beam, as the case is, but it has only a 90-degree angle. As you can see, I mean, if you can you see me from this angle?
No, because I'm kind of facing ship.
Oh, okay. Well, try and get a shot on me, and then I'll show you that. I'll be able to show them the difference between things.
Yeah, where are you? Oh, there you are. I can see
me.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see here,
That's plasma.
there's plasma coming from my back and my front, and that's cause I've got plasma beam arrays on both my rear and aft weapons because I've got 2 slots in the front, 2 slots in the back. And plasma beam arrays, or any kind of beam array, has a firing arc of about 250, which means there's about, well, obviously, I mean, if you can do your math, which you should be able to, there's a bit of overlap between them both. Which means you can fire all 4 at once. Something like James's double beam array, that's only got a one of 90, so it's more powerful, but it's got a much more limited range, and his dual cannons only have a range of 45, which means he will have lots of forwards-facing firepower, but if you hit him from the back, he'll be a lot weaker.
Yeah, well, I've got 360-degree phase.
Yeah, and there's the turret as well. They're the weakest, but they're 360 degrees, so there's complete overlap there. You can fire all 4 of them. I mean, if I had them, I could fire all 4 at once, no matter where I was facing.
And now I'm engaging the problem where I'm being shot at from behind, and I can do barely anything about it.
You might want to display your torpedoes. I don't have any projectile weapons, but you can set off minefields, which are basically... They're slightly more powerful than torpedoes. I'm being chased by mine right now, actually. But they've got a shorter range, and you can shoot them down. And they tend to be quite slow, whereas torpedoes, you can quickly fire them as soon as your enemy's shields fail to get in a powerful hit. However, I've chosen just to go with all beam arrays because altogether the damage you get from using 4 of them adds up to pretty much a torpedo anyway, and it makes me good at taking down shields. There's different classes. There's engineering, the red shirt, which...
That's yellow shirt engineering.
No, I said the engineering was the yellow shirt.
You didn't say that.
Red shirt. No, I was going to say, and the science guy. As in engineering, the red shirt, and science. I wasn't going to say engineering is the red shirt.
Just continue.
Yes.
Ignore me.
There's engineering, which I'll have to specify as a yellow shirt to stop my friend from having a seizure. He's the tanky guy. He's got strong shields, and he's also a support class of sorts. He can deploy turrets, bunkers, minefields on the ground, that kind of thing. And I haven't checked very much, but I think it can give buffs in space as well.
Yeah.
Or I think that's more the science guy's thing in space. Anyway, there's the red shirt, the tactical guy. I'm sure you'll be familiar with the term red shirt, even if you're not a big Star Trek fan, because I know I'm not. Because that's the whole disposable thing, very big thing in pop culture. Anyway, yeah, he's...
I was only like the original series, really.
I know, we got switched on to command now or something, didn't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if he can tank very well. As far as I can tell, he's best out for the DPS role. And James, can you give a run through of the abilities?
For the tank? Grenades and just weapon damage, really.
Oh, and they're also the best at martial arts because you can get some melee weapons. You can get
Yes. You too
batleths.
can be William Shatner and engage hand-to-hand combat in every place you go.
Those lurker things, which look like showering
Oh,
spades.
our friend request. Woo.
Oh yeah, I joined the fleet yesterday. That's another thing. Fleets are pretty much the same sort of thing as clans. I haven't had much to do with them, so I can't really give you much information on that because I'm never really big on clans in games, but I assume they can do operations together. We might do an extra video on ground combat since this one's going to take quite a while in space combat.
Well, no, I think you've just covered just about every single statistical point possible.
I know, they might want to see some gameplay though. I mean...
Information-wise,
should we do a separate video?
Possibly.
We might as well. I'll go on about ground combat there. For now, space combat.
Space.
There's different weapons, obviously.
Well, I think you've already
So
covered
far-
that.
Oh no, I'm just going to go through the different classes though. So there's phasers, you know, classical old Star Trek weapon thing.
That's only Starfleet. Everyone else uses disruptors, really.
Yeah, because they're not pussies. But anyway. And then they disable subsystems, I think. And subsystems, as far as I'm aware, I think that's the... Oh, yeah, your bridge officers. Your bridge officers give you special abilities, like I can overcharge my beams to do lots of damage. Or a nice one I always used to use when I still had my torpedoes equipped was a high-yield torpedo, because that means you fire two at once rather than one.
I have that one.
Yeah, it's very useful.
Oh yeah,
when you want to get
one that I've
chunk
got
of
for
damage while
promoting
shielding them.
my tactical officer is fire at will.
Oh, doesn't that... It fires your beams at separate
Yeah, it
times,
fires
doesn't it?
everything. So it's light show. Park in middle of enemy group and then just engage.
Does it fire them really fast as well?
I have no idea, but all it seems to do is just create a lot of flashy lights.
I'll come and help you out, I guess. Oh wait, no, that's the Danube. I'll go and help the Danube out then. Yeah. And basically, your ships have consoles, and they'll help you do things like... James, why don't you bring up your menu and show me consoles?
Okay. Consoles. These are my
Right.
consoles.
Yeah. James will be having two tactical consoles, because he's in a destroyer, and they're more designed for the tactical person, so damage dealing, hence the forward-firing powerful weapons. I myself have two engineering consoles because engineering is more based around shields and defensive things like hull repair, stuff like that. And because I'm a tank, and because cruisers are more of a tanky ship, because I'll have more hull integrity than James, I've got two of them, which also gives me the ability to have two different engineering abilities, which are also usually focused around hull repair or recharging my shield after they've taken damage. James will have two tactical officers with two different tactical abilities, and we're not really strong in the science point because there's only two of us playing this. Alex hasn't wanted to play, so we don't have any science officers. But that offers have two science consoles, and I think science is the person who's the biggest on buffs. From what I know about it, that's a science console, and on the ground, the science guy specialises
Yay!
in, well...
I got some decent loot.
Oh yeah, you get good
Plasma
loot from
beam
this.
array Mark
Yeah.
4.
Oh, you got a beam
Yeah.
array. Plasma. Oh, nice one. They sell for about 18,000.
Yeah, but
you
I've
know.
got no tactical station to upgrade it, so I'm not going to equip it yet.
Oh.
That,
Why don't you get a plasma dual beam array? You could probably have a lot of money eventually after selling all this loot. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, apparently, from what I've heard, the science... What is his actual designation? I've heard of calling him the science guy.
well, other than that, it's mainly medical.
Yeah. As you might have just heard, he's a medic. When he's on the ground, he'll buff his teammates, heal them, and he's also got some abilities to debuff the enemy and stun them and whatnot. And I think he has pretty much the same abilities in space, because on my science console I have a tractor beam equipped, which pretty much immobilizes the enemy, does a small amount of damage and makes sure they can't cloak. It's been very useful to me, so, you know, don't put the scientist aside as some kind of healer who can't do any damage, because I bet it's still useful in combat in his own way. Something I think is worth mentioning is the tutorial's quite complicated. I mean, I think I got fatigued during it really, because they were just trying to cram so much information into my brain on ground combat.
I didn't
space
pay
combat.
any attention to it.
That's one tactic, I guess, but that's why you never knew how to do anything. But yeah, try and pay attention. The tutorial lasts a while, but once you're through it, you'll have a good idea of how to play the game, and certainly useful, because then your friends won't have to remind you what to do all the time, because you never know. Because you didn't pay attention
Hey,
during
that's
this
why I
time.
like playing like MMOs in groups. Mainly because it's more
Well,
fun, and also it's easier to ask your friends for help rather than consulting the manual.
that's true. It can be a bit unruly. It can be a bit what's the word? Cumbersome at times with the UI and everything. But one thing the UI is good at is, for example, in space combat here, it's very simple. I mean, I don't have to bother targeting or anything. My beams will auto target the enemy. James's torpedoes will, and so will his beams, his cannons, and everything. But basically, I think that space combat mixes together several very simple
Well,
systems to
it
make overall tactically
is
complicated
a lot more
and quite
balanced.
enjoyable combat system, because you've got to manage your shields, because if your shield's taking a battering, although my shield's quite powerful, so
No,
James on
mine are all
that, as you can
red.
see. Yeah. You can divert your power to a certain type of shield. So say you're being battered by an enemy, you want to retreat, and so you've got your rear shields facing you, you can reinforce them so they will recharge faster and you'll be more likely to survive rather than having your energy spread out all over them. And you can
And they're
actually
taking cold damage.
you can adjust your power. James, can you show them the whole
Yes, I've
power
been doing
bars
that for
thing?
some time.
Yeah, you can switch it between shields, which will focus on shields, and then power weapons. Oh, and something worth mentioning, your weapons do use attack power when you're firing them. I'm not sure how much exactly, but I'm assuming, although I've got quite high attack power myself, because I've got high attack and shields and low engine power, because I'm not really using my engines that much to travel fast.
Well,
Yeah, if you've got low power, you might not be able to fire all your weapons at once, or they won't be as effective, stuff like that. So you might want to keep that in mind if you've got high engine power and high shield power or something. But the balancing does make for making it a bit of a. It adds layers to the game, basically. It makes it a bit more complex and therefore more interesting. Have you showed them full impulse
yes,
in
I
there, James?
just did that now.
Yeah, that's for boosting around. It automatically puts all power to your
Yeah,
engines
but you
over
can't do anything
time.
in combat mode, which is when you can see your shield ring.
Yeah, and there's also a red alert thing at the top of the screen
No,
to let
that's
you know.
stupid, because as soon as you open fire, you engage red alert. We
I
are under
know.
attack. No, I'm the one doing the attacking. Shut up.
Yeah, yes, I know what you mean, but it's a bit nitpicky. I'm going to take out those phone
Yes,
lines
I am,
over there.
because that's the objective.
Eventually, you get a tactical bar because there's you know, you get more. There's the main abilities that your teammates all have that you can see on the consoles on James's screen since he's the recording guy. But I mean, I can get evasive maneuvers, which is helpful for me because I'm basically trying to turn my ships like trying to turn a cruise liner at times. I need to keep my enemy in my sight, so if they're outmaneuvering me, I can turn on invasive maneuvers and it'll increase my flight speed and my turn speed, which means I'll be able to keep all four of my beams focused on them, so I can keep a maximum damage output going.
Right, we've got to destroy cruisers now.
I'll help you take on these cruisers over here.
My shields don't seem to want to recharge these days.
I think, why don't you use your have you got an emergency reroute power to shields on your
Yeah, I've
engineer?
just used it, but it's only a temporary thing.
I guess. You could retreat from combat, but I don't think it's that
Well,
desperate
now
yet.
I can turn around now, so I can give them hell.
If James can
Yes,
see me,
I
can you
can,
see
you're
me now,
attracted
James?
beams.
Attractor beam. It as an example. I'm also using a different power now, which makes me do extra damage with my beam. Oh my god,
I
that
think
was
we've got a
quite
mine
powerful.
on me.
Probably, there's quite a lot of mines about. Although you'll be seeing plenty of those later as well. Yeah, how busy
Not
are you at the
very.
moment, James?
Oh.
Try showing them the duty officer screen, even though we're in combat at the moment, but I think we've already been through that a fair bit, so you know. Anyway, yeah, duty officers is like, you might be familiar with it from other games, like on the Old Republic, you can send your teammates off to go and like do stuff to get you resources to make things. It's different here. You'll like send your team on a diplomatic mission or like send them on a lecture and they'll be gone for, you know, sometimes even days at a time. So like I said, you could say
Oh
it's more
God,
realistic.
save me.
And you'll get various rewards. You'll get different types of experience. Although only a few of them get your combat experience, and I'm not too familiar with what the other kinds of experience do, although they do level you up in certain aspects, like if you do diplomatic trips, then you'll level up your diplomat
Help.
and screen like
Where is everyone?
I'm too far away to assist you against that cruiser, but I'll come in for an attack now, see if I can distract it. Although I'm under origin to 5i1 cruiser, so you know. I'll just kill this frigate actually, it's being annoying.
Shields while you no recharge.
Anyway, have you shown the duty officer screen?
Yeah, hi.
James? Have you shown the
No,
duty
I'm
officer
busy
screen?
engaging a cruiser at the moment. Which it?
Well, only not to show them that, and I'll just explain what it is to them now. Well, I've pretty much explained it. You can get rewards of dilithium, which I suppose might as well be the next thing we go on to. Dilithium's a separate form of currency. Costs us the cryptic point, because this game's run by Cryptic. The same people who make Champions Online, actually, and you'll see a lot of similarities between the UI, because it's pretty much the same, even with the music
It's
player
also
and all
part of
that.
Perfect World. It is Perfect World, ain't it? Like what?
Yeah, I think Perfect World must have
Yeah,
assisted
Black
in
White
making it, but it's
Retribution.
definitely the Champions Online UI. Oh yes, they made Black White Retribution. Maybe Cryptic overtook it when they went on the free-to-play thing, I'm not sure. I didn't really look into it that much. But yeah, there's Cryptic points, you get like mostly tertiary stuff with that. I must say, for a free-to-play MMO, this does give the free player a lot of freedom. So there's some games that like basically put you in a game chokehold if you don't somehow pay money towards it. But this game gives you lots of freedom. I haven't really encountered anything I couldn't do yet or wanted to do because I wasn't willing to do a microtransaction. It's really for aesthetics. You can get fancier bridges and stuff. You know, the area where all your, for those of you unfamiliar with ship terms, the bridge is like a commanding area. So then you can have meetings with your friends there and stuff. You can get different crew members, which give you slight advantages, but I doubt that's such a big thing. Anyway, yeah, that's Cryptic points. You can trade Cryptic points for dilithium, vice versa. Dilithium helps you unlock ships, but I think that's only if you're buying multiple ships, because when you level up, when me and Sketch, we both leveled up to Lieutenant Commander, and we both got our ships for free that we're piloting now. But if we wanted to get another one at this level, we'd have to pay dilithium for them. Since we didn't have to, though, we've been spending dilithium on weaponry as well. You can get weaponry of various kinds with it. Later on, you'll be able to get more weapon types, but at the moment, the only ones available to us are plasma, which we've only just unlocked, and we've had disruptors and phasers available since the start of the game. Later on, there'll be stuff like antiproton, tetrium. They'll have their own advantages. Plasma will do damage over time. Disruptors will give a damage debuff. Other than that, I don't think there's much you can spend dilithium on, but there's energy credits. That's the currency of the exchange. You can buy all sorts of the exchange. I buy a lot of my weaponry off it. That's basically just like, you know, any marketplace you'll find in any other game. You just sell and buy items on it, very handy. There's also gold pressed latinum, which I'm sure fans of the series will be familiar with. It's the currency of some trader race, although I can't. The Ferengi, that's it. I do not remember them very well, but I don't know what the currency is used for. And I think this might be PvP currency, like merits and stuff, but I haven't really played into PvP. That's one niggle I have with the game. The PvP is very empty. Most of the time you'll barely be able to find a match. And it's only ever Alliance versus Alliance. I've never seen a match with really any Klingons queuing for it, because you can play as Klingons as well in this. You have to be level 25 first though. So maybe much later on, if we stick with this game, we might be able to bring you a video of it. But I doubt it's going to happen for a while, because yeah, level 25, that's halfway through all the leveling. You end up at level 50, that's the max level. And I'm not sure what difference is anyway, I don't really know anything about the Klingons. Because this is the first look, I haven't been playing it for that long, I've probably played it about 4 days now, gameplay wise. But yeah, so you'll usually be Alliance versus Alliance, and even then it's not very busy, I'm not sure why. It seems decently balanced, although there's a few nitpicks I could make on the map design, things like that, and balancing, but it usually tends to be fairly balanced. I've never been put against Vice Admirals or anything ridiculous like that.
Yeah, well, it probably does have a simple matchmaking system.
I just hope it gets more busy in future. You you can do ground PvP and space PvP. This is PvE. You know, like raiding in World of Warcraft or the equivalent in any other MMO.
This is a lot more
We'll get rewards at the end of it. Well, yeah, there's lasers everywhere. I mean, just in principle, I find this to be an interesting MMO. Because, you know, it's Star Trek. There's spaceships, lasers flying everywhere. It's all
Yeah,
rather
very
well done, I
reminiscent
think.
of the Star Trek DS game.
Rather, you know, using the magical super sword of flaying on the enemy and just auto-attacking, you know, hitting them with a sword. Yeah, even on the most basic level, I find shooting phasers at things to be much more interesting than hitting it with a sword. But you know, that's me. World of Warcraft's still incredibly successful, so it's obviously doing something right.
Since release of the Old
battleships, don't go and fight a battleship by yourself because you will get your arse kicked. Jules, just
since release of the Old Republic has actually been starting to go down.
Yeah, but there's a reason everyone on V is calling the Old Republic the Titanic. I think the first part was a bit disastrous, but Old Republic has the ability to survive, I think. Star Wars is a big franchise, and it looks like it's been doing fairly well. And judging by that package, yeah, World of Warcraft came with this package. I think it was like a covered gold package, gold vendors package, something like that, where you have to agree to subscribe for a year and you'll get some nice benefits. I think you get Diablo for free, actually.
I have no idea. I don't take an interest.
And obviously that was an effort to try and keep people subscribed throughout the... I guess it was sort of like, you know, barring the windows of World of Warcraft and locking the doors, helping it survive the storm of the Old Republic coming online. They knew their fan base was going to take a bit of a hit because at the end of the day, MMOs are the biggest time sinks, and if you're going to have to pay to play one, you're only going to probably want one, and if other people for the Old Republic, that means less plays in World of Warcraft.
Blizzard and Activision have the Scrooge McDuck bank vault where they go swimming in their gold coin every day.
Well, I don't know what their
They make...
value is in liquid assets, but I assume
it's probably one of those
high.
companies where you couldn't actually physically liquidate their assets.
Maybe not, but I think you have to remember that the people who are running the Old Republic is EA, so it's not like it's the only MMO with someone running it who can't liquidate their assets because they've got that much money.
True, but admittedly Blizzard do stick to what they know.
Yeah. Well, they're doing something right. StarCraft's a massively popular RTS. World of Warcraft's a massively popular MMO. All they need to do now is like make a massively popular first-person shooter.
They're under Activision, which has Call of Duty. Problem solved.
Well, that's pretty much true. They have their finger in a lot of pies, but I feel like we've digressed here. Partially because there's not much else to say about Star Trek that you won't find from playing the first maybe hour of it, because that's possibly how long the tutorial was last year. Anything we've missed, do you think? There's lots of races. You don't just play as Federation, it's like, bam, you're playing as a human, tough luck. It's probably about 20 different ones, actually. Oh, actually, here's something important. If you're using an AMD graphics card, their most recent update, I think it's Catalyst 12.2, it's done this with Champions Online as well. There must be some similarity to how the graphics are run. But if you have anti-aliasing on, it will make the game look terrible. There'll be annoying little blocks everywhere, and
well,
I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last because it's a big problem. So I assume they're going to try and release a fix for it as soon as possible. But if you start playing your game and there are blocks everywhere, then you know what to do. Just turn anti-aliasing off and don't think, "Oh my god, I hate this game. I'm going to stop playing." Because that's wasted potential. Really. It's a fun game to play.
I can say,
something like that stop
welcome
you.
back to the Atari age.
Yes, I'm not sure it's quite that bad. It's just, like
Next
little
up,
grids,
we're playing
blocks
ET.
everywhere.
Hell yes.
Anyway, until we do the video on ground battle, I guess there's nothing else worth mentioning, unless I've missed anything big. Oh, might you show the leveling up
just did
system?
do that.
Skill system.
So, before we start
That's all right, then.
backtracking over anything in, I've been Sketch, Neon.
I've been Argoncillo, but just call me Michael. Simple.
Yeah,
Considering how many different
man with
names I've
many
got.
aliases. Good day. Right, that's recorded.